welcome, folks. We are here, Crunch Time, and I have no idea what episode it is, but you got the crew here. David Jones to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, producer KJ on the boards, and we got a full week of football to talk about. Great week of football, David.
Yeah, I can't. It's had a lot of exciting games last week to get updated on, and when I tell you a lot of big-time games this week, we got a lot of big-time games this week also.
We got a ton to talk about last week. We got a lot to talk about this week. We also are going to have our top 10, our Double Quick Player of the Week, and our Mingy Beef Jerky Primetime Performers coming up a little later in the show. And what I'm excited about is, as we go on through these shows here, we got a couple kids that done some marvelous things on the gridiron this week.
Well, that's what I was talking about with the big time games or whatever.
Yeah.
I seen a cat from Tulsa, and I know we're going to talk about that was that put up some big time numbers.
Oh yeah.
And
true freshman.
True freshman. That's what I'm saying, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And of course, you had several big time plays, exciting plays.
You get them in West Virginia, true freshmen.
Yeah, that is true. Cause if I had an opportunity to hold back, I would.
I would too.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got a lot of great things to talk about, man. I'm just excited that I was able to eat today. I've been down and out. I've been so sick, guys. Unfortunately, I got food poisoned last week, and I've been down and out. But
right before the man game.
Yeah.
So
and I ate in Logan County.
Yeah. Hey, little conspiracy theory there.
I'm just joking. But I did eat in Logan County though. But it wasn't no restaurants or anything. It was a. I'm not gonna say no names because I don't believe in all that. But I just got sick. But it was someone on the side selling some things, and
okay.
I got some good food. I was grubbing on it, and literally after that, I took a turn for the worse.
Well, speaking of some grub, had some great food up here pre-gaming the show. So
some great sub meatballs.
Yes, absolutely. But we sat here. It's been a long week, man. This show, I finally am happy to get to the show and do the show. People don't understand when we get ready for this show, we work from Friday night after the last ball game all the way until the seconds before the show just to get this show on the air and bring you people the knowledge that we bring.
Yeah, and don't forget, I am a coach and I am very tired.
Yeah, that's and we do that, and then like yesterday, go to Hazard, then go to Letcher County, then back to Prestonsburg, then went to had to go sit in a board meeting, something I shouldn't have to do, and then leave there, go back home, get home about, I'd say probably 11:30 at night, do about 3 hours show prep, get up this morning and go to Floyd Central, all the way to Letcher Central, then to Chapmanville, then back here. So it's been a hectic week getting ready for this show.
I totally understand. It's been a hectic week getting ready for the defending state champs also. So we're in the same boat.
Tony Atkins tuning in said, "How you doing?" Garrett Fork Menace tuning in. He says, Billy Davis said, "We coming over the mountain Friday night. Love to see Billy up here." The father of Peyton Davis, Martin County PG, one of our favorite athletes.
Yeah.
Nobody works harder than Peyton. But I want to start, and this right here may be the first time a high school football show in Eastern Kentucky, Southern West Virginia has ever been headlined to start a show with Colorado football.
Oh, yeah.
Prime time.
The funniest thing is I had seen a comment or whatever earlier, and they had said that, they going to consider me as the prime of high school. I said, nah, I'm the wish. I'm the one on the wish.
Prime
I'm nowhere
time.
near that dude. Yeah. That dude's phenomenal.
He's doing amazing things, man. And I tell you, on Friday night, or Saturday night, I took and watched Wrestlers all day. That the new documentary on Netflix, the Matt Jones Wrestling Organization. Listen, amazing documentary. I highly suggest everybody go support it. give Matt 2 thumbs up because Matt's a big supporter of Mountain Athletes as well and helps us here at D&D. So make sure you guys go support that. But I went and took a nap after I watched it. I got up and it was like midnight. And then about 1 o'clock, I tuned over to ESPN and I seen that game going on. I was like, man, this is a good game. And while I was watching it, I was sitting there, I was like, man, there ain't no way that game's still going on. So I started checking my phone for the final score. I was typing in, Colorado State final score, and I thought maybe it was on replay. And then I was like, this game is live. And then at 2:30 in the morning, I was still staying up, fighting sleep to watch the end of that ball game. But man, I'm glad I did, because that right there was one of the best games I'd seen. And for what Deion's doing for college football, man, I mean, I don't know, it needed that shot in the arm, and this is the perfect storm.
Everybody's on the Colorado bandwagon right now. I love it too. I can't quit watching, man. TikTok, it's all it is. I mean, it's just awesome.
He's the best, but the key thing about Deion, he's very real, and and he puts God first in everything,
Absolutely.
And he's not afraid or ashamed or whatever to do that, and that's what I'm most impressed at. And then not only that, I seen on there where a kid was having a bad game or whatever, a bad 3 quarters, and I see Deion just give him a big old hug.
Yeah.
That's football. That's football coaching right there.
Yeah, that's and I mean, I can't wait for the next game, which is Oregon, and we're going to see this week if it's pretend or it's kind of the same parallel going on with Coach Jones. We're going to find out this week if they're the real deal or not with Independent throwing the town in Oregon.
We got to quit comparing what we're doing to Deion or what I'm like, cause dude.
No, we're comparing it for this conversation purposes. And
I want the cowboy hat Friday night.
Y'all won't get that.
We want sunglasses and cowboy hats.
Y'all won't get that from me. All that stuff was a big joke, and then somebody wanted to post a picture, and it went crazy or whatever. But no, we definitely ain't doing that. I'm definitely not doing that. I don't even consider myself. I consider myself an okay coach. Guys, I've had 3 winning seasons. I haven't, I've been coaching for 10 years. I got to do a lot more to be in any conversation with anything. I'm a realist. Y'all know I am.
Jason Blair's tuning in from Anderson County, and he says you've got to have the hat.
I can't do it, Jay. I can't do it now. I can't do it.
Joe Kinder says, tell David he's about to commit a felony, put them guns up. So
y'all quit hating on me. Like, these things, I don't even lift weights, man. Like, I've been sick. I've lost I lost 15 pounds in 5 days.
I'm going to have to tell you, man, my pet peeve, and I've about had it up to here, is every time, and I know it ain't going to change, it's the way people are, but every time you post something on social media, somebody has something to go on there and complain or nitpick about, or I was like, well, your kid ain't. Well, maybe First of all, let's see what time the stats was put in.
Yeah.
When did they do the stats? I mean, there's so much stuff. Instead of automatically saying, well, they're haters, they're this. Yeah. I promise you, we don't hate any school. We do not think of stuff like that. And I see WYMT for years. Belfry people always said WYMT hates Belfry. They hate Pond Creek.
Listen, I'm gonna back us up over there, okay? They did. I promise there was something up.
I was there. I was complaining
there was
too,
something up though.
But
no, bro.
I do see the other side of it now,
and I do too. But I'm telling you, bro, like it was bad. And we're the only one around here winning the titles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is when I was playing, and like where's the love? We was getting love from WSSAZ more than them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if y'all need some sponsors, come over here. I'm sure we can sponsor because we're going in December. Yeah. But trust me, I'll back you up on this, bro. I got you on this one.
I see both sides of it now, and listen, the other night, I ain't going to go into names or anything, but had a coach complaining because I said a team on here had a cupcake schedule. You know,
Hold on. All right. So you remember what happened whenever the other, I'm not gonna say no names, but they called our guys was Cupcakes or whatever. So
same situation with you. Yeah,
so,
another media outlet. So I see, and I'm like, you know, listen. At the end of the day, this is sports. You know, sports talk. I'm the type. You know, sports talk is to get conversation with each other. You don't have to hate everybody just because you disagree. Yeah. And that gets frustrating, man, when everybody thinks like, oh, they automatically got something out against us, or they got this, they got that. When, you know, behind the scenes, we're meeting like, hey, what can we do for this kid? Yeah. What can we do for that? You know, but
and another thing too is, It all falls on also who says it too. Yeah. Because, you know, as a coach, I will never, and my staff will never ever go at a media outlet like that unless they're attacking one of our kids personally or like saying or some sorts like that. But I would never openly go on there and say stuff to them or whatever, or make a big old thing about it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Because it don't just hurt your kids.
It does. It just hurts the kids in the long run.
Because you don't want it, the media outlet don't want to mess with you now.
That's it. People are human. You know, whether we want to or not, we're going to, I mean, it may come a time when we're going to be like, oh, should we give them a nod or shouldn't we? Or, you know, and then that's going to pop up. And I hate that because there's nothing political about us. I mean, we are for every kid. We're for the mountains. It's not, you know, we had somebody come up and said, they was like, they said something about, you know, they was like, oh, there's like, you know, Belfry folks ain't never going to give us publicity. And they was like, oh, they spelled, you know, our name wrong. Because they're from Belfry. And I was like, I promise you, if you think that we're thinking 1 second about a rivalry, you know, when we're doing this, you're fooling yourself, because we ain't doing nothing but, you know, thinking about how we can help the mountains and the kids. I mean, that stuff, you know, hey, we got more important things to worry about than, you know, high school rivalries.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the Louisville and Kentucky game.
There you go.
And I was worried about the backyard brawl the other day. Like, really.
Well, guys, make sure you get your comments in. We're going to take a quick break. We will be right back as we'll jump into some of the game action, plus read some of your guys' comments. Come right back and join us here on Crunch Time.
If you're looking for a great selection and a great experience for your next Harley-Davidson, come on down to Mountain State Harley-Davidson here in Del Barton, West Virginia.
We have new 2023 models in stock and ready for delivery. Special financing available.
Or choose pre-owned with one of the largest inventories in the tri-state area with great low prices.
Visit our showroom filled with licensed Harley-Davidson apparel and more.
Don't write that check until you check with us, Mountain State Harley-Davidson, 61 Priest Bottom Road, or visit us online at mountainstatehd.com.
Looking for a great selection, great prices, and a great experience on your next ATV, motorcycle, or side-by-side? Come check out Kiefer's Kawasaki.
Our number one goal is to offer you the best power sport experience at a great price.
Like this new 23 Kawasaki Teryx Sport for only $17,999.
Before you write that check, check with us.
And remember, your adventure starts here at Kiefer Kawasaki. Route 44 South, Jerry West Highway in Logan, or visit KiefersPowersports.net.
Successful challenge by Steve Kerr and the Warriors. At all. One dribble powers it. I'll drive and kick the punch. Primo for three.
This Friday night, you can catch the undefeated Scott Skyhawks flying into Chapmanville to take on the Tigers in the Logan Bank and Trust Game of the Week. Then on D&D Sports Network, Friday Night Football, we have Independence coming to Minor Mountain to take on the red-hot, undefeated Mingo Central Miners. Will it be Jameer Knuckles and the Pike Central Hawks or B.J. Peterson and the Floyd Central Jaguars getting the win on the Citizens Bank Game of the Week? Right here on the D&D Sports Network, Friday night.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Logan Bank and Trust.
Yes, sir. We are back here, guys. Make sure all your banking needs, you go to Logan Bank and Trust. I promise there's not a better bank in Logan County than Logan Bank and Trust. Big supporters of all mountain athletes. So, as we're reading the comments here, we see Ashley Dalton says, "Where's my signs, guys?" David Jones says, "Definitely need that hat, David." So,
Who did?
Jason Blair said, "Definitely needs that."
Guys,
They said,
all right, last game of the season, I'll wear the hat.
Okay.
I'll wear the hat. I will. I promise you. Last game of the season, I'll wear the cowboy hat out there. I gotta ask.
Who you play?
Mountain View.
Okay.
But I gotta ask Brent Moore first because he's the real cowboy hat wearer up here. That's what he wears.
Okay.
And Brent Moore. And he teaches up here also, and he's the cowboy hat wearer. You know,
Yep.
I have to ask for permission to wear that here because he's the guy.
Okay,
so I get permission, guys, and I'll do it for y'all the last game of the season. But I can't do it. I can't do it right now. I just can't do it.
Well, we'll hold you on to that one. We got Justin McCoy saying, "What's up, fellas?" We got Thomas Rainey said, "That's why I was put on probation from the show for a week." Said, I let stuff like cupcake talk go. And then Chris Suppin says, kind of the same injury happened to him in 2014.
Oh, talk about the Nick Chubb.
Yeah, and then Noah Kilburn says, "Son, watch this show. These dudes know the game and players." We appreciate that, Brett.
Appreciate that, man.
And we're definitely going to be talking about your son, Noah Kilburn. I mean, he was
tough.
Yes, he is.
He is.
Said, Thomas Rainey, "Do you get Mother Nature 5-gallon jugs of water?" Talking about on probation. And then we got Jimmy Lee Bragg says, "My 12-year-old thinks the world of Coach Jones."
Hey, man, big shout out to Jordo. Great young man. He's been battle tested. He had open heart surgery last week, I do believe. Gilbert kid. And I'm freaking looking forward to having him up here on the mountain whenever he gets better and all that stuff. Hopefully he gets to come see us this Friday. But great young man. I mean, he's it's an inspirational story, man, of what he's been through, and I mean, he's a warrior.
Well, Nancy Lee Casey says, "Special coach." Lewis Ratliff says, "I gave David Jones a compliment on another show tonight."
Oh, Lewis!
There you go.
Yep. Hey, we back. Hey, Lewis, you listen. I'm a big fan of yours because I'm a big time guy. Like I don't like you like just flattering me or whatever. I like you being real and being yourself and honest. So I've always been a fan of you. I missed you last week. Now
he wasn't there.
I didn't see you.
We was at Pike County Attorney's office
and
too.
I missed you last week. You normally in the comments and stuff. I missed you last week, but man, I appreciate you being back, and I appreciate the compliments.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're sitting there, that's the one thing I like about Lewis is he gets it. You know, he understands this is sports talk. We can disagree, and we can still be friends.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, breaking news before the show, we got word that Cameron Smith is the new athletic director at Phelps High School.
Oh, wow. That's big. I know, we know Cameron. We know he's a sports guy. And we know that he's trying to do a lot for the kids at Phelps, and Phelps is very special to me, and they always will be very special to me, regardless. I would pick them every time, but I literally I'm not pick them so they would get upset and try to win, you know what I'm saying, or get the win or whatever. But that's just how I am. But
listen, Marty Casey called the win last week.
He did.
Mark Dog got him on the winning track. Now, want to talk about Coach Mack. Coach Mack picked up his 200th win against the Belfry Pirates there. As I couldn't be more happy for a man like Coach Mack because, he in his early days he was getting overlooked, and then when he won his first state title, everybody was being like, well, he didn't. There was always an excuse there built in. then over these last few years, he's finally got the respect he deserves. And 200 wins is a big milestone.
That's huge, and congratulations, Coach Mack. And you got to understand what shadow that he was in.
Yeah.
Hillard Howard.
Yep.
You know, Hillard Howard brought a lot of titles there, and you know, and all that. You know, so he was in a big shadow. So once he won that one, you got to win another one.
Yep.
Once you win it, you got to win another one. You know what I'm
Pressure's
saying?
there.
The pressure's there.
Yep.
And you know, he just stayed the course, man, and he did what he do. You know, and it's a shout out to him and his staff and his players.
Well, real quick, let's go on and release here real quick before we get into game talk, the Double Quick Player of the Week. And this went to a young man, Robert Evans from Tulsa High School, who Tulsa hadn't won a ball game until this week here against Van. We all picked against them. We all picked Van to beat them.
They had to prove us.
Oh yeah,
They
absolutely.
did.
And then you take not only that, Parker Watts. Look at his stat line as a receiver: 3 catches. It was like 190 some yards, 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert Evans, 6 touchdowns. Couldn't be more happy for that young man and the Tulsa Rebels of getting that limelight after such a hard start to the season.
Yeah, that's big time. You know, but you know, I know that's Tug's rival and all that, but that's, you know, I'm a Mate One guy, so that's a rival to me too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is.
I love to get a Tulsa back on our schedule once that come about and all that. You know, Tulsa, Wayne, and stuff like that, because them always been big games for all of us around these parts. You know, Mate One, Williamson, Birch, and Gilbert.
And listen, I love that I got to do a Wayne game the other night. I'd been waiting for so long to do a Wayne game, and we finally got to do it. So tickled to death for that. Then, you know, I mean, as Tug Valley, you know, we'll go in talking about their games in a minute. But KJ, Robert Evans is the Double Quick Player of the Week. Now let's go in and release the Mingy Beef Jerky Primetime Performers of Week 5. So pop us up. Who we got?
Carson Brinegar from Scott, 9 receptions, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 carries for 42 yards, 3 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. Jace Manning, 20 of 26, 272 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown, 6 tackles, and an interception. Preston May, 13 of 18 from Tug Valley, 247 yards and 5 touchdowns. Tyson Salmons, 11 of 18, 153 yards, a touchdown, 26 carries, 181 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions.
Huge night for all them. Tyson Salmons, man, that kid continues to dominate.
Well,
I mean,
you have another true freshman that dominated from Tug Valley and Preston May.
yeah, I'm getting ready to talk about that here in a second. The that right there, it seemed like Tug Valley finally found their click. And before we go into these true freshmen talk here real quick, want to remind people, hit that like and share button, folks. Get these numbers up for these kids as we're going to be talking all show long. Hit that share button, leave your comments, questions, whatever. And also want to give a big shout out to my buddy Jeremy Still, who's watching the show. Jeremy is struggling right now. Please make sure you pray for Jeremy. And I was tickled to death. Whenever I spent time with him, I cannot wait to Saturday to watch the UK game with my man. But definitely want to give a big shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah, big shout out to Jeremy, man. He's a good buddy of ours, and praying for you big time, man. Big time.
Yep.
Hopefully the Cats will make it happen this weekend also.
I hope so. Last year, Vanderbilt, we'll go into that here in a minute.
I know.
Yeah. But you brought up another true freshman in Preston May.
Yeah.
You know, Preston May, it seems like Tug Valley finally is starting to click. They finally found out, you know, where they need to have certain players. But when you talk true freshmen right now showing out in the mountains, think of this right here. Freshman quarterbacks in the mountains right now. Bryce Holbrook at Peaburg, Jameer Knuckles at Pike Central, Robert Evans at Tulsa, Preston May at Tug Valley, Gunnar Holbrook at Letcher County, Brady Manuis at Estill County, Alex Johnson, A.J. Johnson at Paintsville. All freshmen leading their teams and having big years.
That's
I mean, this right here, a lot of people didn't talk about this being a great, you know, quarterback class.
Right.
This may be the best quarterback class that we've seen since the 2022 one last year. When they had all them great quarterbacks, or the one that Isaac McNamee or Russ. It's this year, 2023, with Russ Osborne, and you had the Hatfield kid from Herbert Hoover, Dane Hatfield, and there was a slew of them in that class. But to see this many freshmen, like right now, as I sit here and look, Jameer Knuckles, what he's been doing at Pike Central has been truly unbelievable. He's led them to a 4-1 start. You got Bryce Holbrook, who went up there and handed Jameer Knuckles his first loss the other night. But, Gunnar Holbrook, at Letcher Central, getting overlooked, putting up big numbers.
I think he has been getting overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
But he's a phenomenal player.
Oh, yeah.
Major phenomenal. We saw him play since he was in middle school, actually.
And I think the two most physical of this group is Jameer Knuckles and A.J. Johnson. The kid from Estill County, I've not got to see him, but I've seen his numbers. He's putting up amazing numbers, but I can't wait to get to watch him in person. But over in West Virginia, seeing Preston May and Robert Evans doing that, it's got to make you proud to be from Southern West Virginia.
And you got to, and this is another thing, and next year, just knowing all the West Virginia teams, they may be more freshmen starting from the beginning and stuff. So, you got
Dakota Dalton coming up.
Jacksonville will be very lucky, but to get him and all that good stuff, and he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, that's I'm excited to see that. Great quarterback play equals great mountain football.
That's it.
So, Chris Ward says, big game Saturday, Hazard Middle versus McGoffin, battle of the top two in the state. And you're going to get to watch that right here on D&D Sports Network. Yep. So make sure you guys tune in to that one. Brandy Maynard Lafferty says a lot of freshmen making noise in the mountains.
That is a fact. Absolutely.
Then Catherine Catbird Isaac says thank you and the crew for all you do for the kids. Said we love you guys. So Catbird definitely somebody we're near and dear to our hearts. And Lewis Rattler said Mac has been a part of 5 titles at Pikeville, 1 as a player, 4 as a coach, and 1 with his son. Said I think he won 2 with Isaac. So that's just to add to Coach Mac's resume. And Jacob Ruthford says, are y'all going to be on the mountain this weekend? Yes, we will. So can't wait for that one. So, I'm just, when you sit and look, it says a lot for these coaches. Back when we was young, freshman quarterback, you would never hear of that. That's just something you never heard of. And then last year, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Chase Varney the first ever freshman to start at Belfry?
He may have, but I don't really know.
So somebody let us know. I'm pretty sure that I was going back and looking, and he was.
Hold on, because. Yeah,
I don't remember another one because Johnson Wright, he didn't start his freshman year because they had Brad Hatfield. Okay. And so he come in his sophomore year. Him and Kevin Deskins battled it out, and Johnson ended up prevailing to that battle. But I can't think of another one. Not in our time. Casey the Choir, he was, I think sophomore when he took over. So I can't remember another one.
I don't like it. In my time over there wasn't.
Yeah, I can't. So definitely interesting. But our producer's sending us the break. Guys, when we come back, we're going to get into talking about all the games from last week. Make sure you come right back here. Crunch Time. You're watching the D&D Sports Network.
Pikeville, Kentucky, get ready. Appalachian Mountain Wrestling invades Mullins Elementary School at 101 Tiger Way in Pikeville for Bluegrass Brawl. Already signed for this big event. John Noble teams up with Kyle Maggard to take on Whiskey Business, and those are for the AMW Tag Team Championships. Chris Michaels takes on Chris Demise. The Southeastern champion Bobby Love will take on AMW champion Stan Sierra in a title versus title match. The Mega Destroyer takes on Marty Clay. Evil Eric Porter takes on Adrian Alexander. All of this and a whole bunch more. It's the Bluegrass Brawl. Mullins Elementary School, 101 Tiger Way, Pikeville, Kentucky, this Saturday night, September 23rd, bell time, 6:05 p.m. We'll see you at ringside.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today.
All right, guys, welcome back to Cruch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Evans Auto Parts, located in Del Barton, West Virginia.
Turn your car's frown upside down with Evans Auto Parts.
I need to bring mine
well,
to get a rear end alignment.
Well, listen, Evans, we will be over soon. Both of us need that. So, we was talking about that, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to go in, but I pulled up to a parking lot the other night, and I seen nothing but new and shiny cars, and I'm like, something's going wrong here. I mean, look at the D&D wagon, and then look at these. But moving on here, Chris Salmon said he's having a granddaughter. So Josh Salmons is having a baby. Congratulations, Coach. Mm-hmm. So
that's his second daughter. He's a girl dad.
Yeah. Yep.
I was hoping he'd get us a QB.
Well,
he was a heck of a QB himself.
That
could be our first one.
That's it. We seen a girl over at Logan last year,
sure
Carly.
did.
That could absolutely.
Whatever happened to her?
I don't know.
If somebody knows, let us know, because I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, this girl, I've never seen a girl, Carly, I can't remember her last name, but she was the only girl. She was in 6th grade, so she'd be an 8th grader this year. She was the only girl that I ever seen that could play skilled position like she did. She was the best player on offense and the best player on defense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've never seen that.
Me neither.
Somebody let us know. Seth Cox, tuning in as I'll try to get the comments here in a second. Seth Cox is Logan Middle. Caleb Johnson is hard to guard in a couple of years, him and Lambert. Well, we're going to get to see them tomorrow. I can't wait for that, because you'll get to watch Logan versus Chapmanville right here on the D&D Sports Network. Sorry, guys, we're trying to figure this out here as I'll try to. There we go. So, as you're sitting here, talking before we go into this week's game, something that popped in my mind. Did you see where the principal got arrested for paddling?
Paddling too hard?
Yeah.
I seen something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that,
we need that back in the schools.
He got arrested for just paddling.
Oh.
But they said he left bruises. Now, if you're leaving bruises, then, I do think that's a little too hard. But I'm a firm believer in we need paddling back.
Oh, yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. But at the end of the day, this day and era is very sensitive, so that it would never work.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah.
That's it's in the Bible, and when you really look at when America went south is whenever they started 911. Whenever it started, they started telling kids, if a parent whips you, call 911, and then you have paddling. I mean, I feel for this principle.
Yeah, that just is we got to get leaders in there that allow parents to be able to parent.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents can't parent nowadays because you can call 911.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, or anything like. I know one thing. I know my mama would tell them something. If that was me, it'd be a different situation. She wouldn't care about no 911, no social service, nothing like that.
They called and asked my mom in grade school. They said, "Can I whip your child?" And she said, "Yes."
My mom come down there and put me in the chokehold. So.
Jamie Hager says Brendan Anthony had over 200 yards of 3 TDs at Belfry, double-digit tackles, less than 2 weeks after a partially collapsed lung. That's most deserving of Player of the Week from the best player in our area, said you have a game like that, said beats inflated stats against weaker competition. No, listen, Coach Hager, I disagree with you on that one because that was equal competition to Tulsa. And Tulsa hadn't won a ball game. That was the big story there. Now, if we would have known the Claps Lung story and stuff like that, and to be honest, when the Player of the Week was chosen, and I mean, not to do it, I mean, and I'm not throwing shade, it's just what do we say every week on this show? If you don't have your stats in by Monday, you're not going to be considered for these Player of the Week or these weekly awards. You're just not going to do it. I mean, because we can't sit and wait until Wednesday to give these awards out,
We just need to stop addressing that. That is so just weird.
It's something that, that's got to be done. Because at the end of the day, even when the stats put out, only the offensive stats.
I don't even get mad when I think my guys deserve to get on there and they don't, because I look at everybody's stuff. And whenever you look at everybody's stuff, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just...
Well, but that's what people don't realize when you see comments like this, and it's nothing toward Coach Hager, because I know he don't mean anything bad toward it, but you got to also look behind the scenes, like, okay, we had the offensive stats, but we didn't have the defensive stats until yesterday. So the award was out, 3 days ago. So, that
common sense. Metro News did the same thing. They literally, this is what they stated: if you don't post your videos to our page by 12 o'clock Monday, don't sit on the couch or comment that why my video didn't get on there. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like
listen, get your stats out there, coaches, and we've seen. Listen,
I'm sure you supporting your guy, but at the end of the day, you can do it in another manner.
Well, we've seen numerous coaches that's come to us and that said stuff like that, and we explained to them. And guess what? Them coaches changed their whole process, and now they got their stats out there Saturday before anybody else.
It falls back on the coaches. At the end of the day, if your guys is not being nominated for it or on it, it's your fault. It's your coach's fault. That's that simple.
Yeah, they and
I got a stat guy that does mine.
I know, Coach Hager. I know you don't mean anything. I know you're not mad or anything like that. With utmost respect for you, but we just want to tell you, it's not always black and white. There's a lot of reasons go on, and if we would have had his tackles with that kind of game against the rival Belfry, he probably would have been Player of the Week with 10 tackles, but we didn't have his stats. So we want to inform you behind the scenes. Now, let's go into the real quick, KJ. Play the video.
Monitors get 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go Mingo Central Miners.
Mingo Central taking care of business, stays undefeated with the Goose Eggs. Only gave up 6 points on the year. That was to the third string defense. But Mingo Central beat Man 40-0 at Man. First time ever Mingo Central had got the win at Man. Chris Ross, 11 for 16, 153 yards, 1 touchdown. 12 carries, 57 yards, 2 scores. Dylan Vance had 7 carries, 147 yards, and a score. And I think you said he also had a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, he sure did.
And then Malachi Shepard, 5 tackles and a pick 6. Mingo allowed 0 passing yards and only 98 yards rushing. Period in that.
We also had Amani Lovett with a scoop and score on defense. I think it was about a 30-some yard scoop and score also on the defensive side of the ball.
No, that was about a 60 yard. Yeah, that's a good one.
But what I want to do, because they don't get the limelight, I want to give a big shout out to our offense and defensive line and our linebackers on the defensive side, because they have played huge. I mean, and they have played huge. And not only that, I think we have the best 2 linebackers in the state of West Virginia, and that's Lakeith Strutters and I'm drawing a blank, and Hagan Hatney.
Yeah.
taking Hackney. So I mean, they have been doing a phenomenal job for us. Tegan is a freshman, and Lakeith is a junior that's been getting a lot of love from some colleges and stuff out there. But man, congratulations to all of them guys. And the most important thing about our team, we never listen to the outside noise. We stay together as a team. We don't care who gets the limelight. As you can tell, they be messaging us saying, "Hey, man, they deserve this, they deserve that," and that's what I love about our guys. You know, they really genuinely love each other and they love playing. So, congratulations, offensive line and D-line and them linebackers.
Well, let me tell you this real quick, KJ. Mingo's defense.
Oh, sorry. And I want to give a big shout out to Baby T for that video. She been making those videos, man. And,
crushed it.
She's one of our biggest supporters up here.
Yeah, absolutely. We also want to give the folks at My Town big shout out for allowing us to use all their highlights and working with us.
Absolutely.
Great job at My Town. But KJ, Mingo Central. Now, Tug Valley, they allowed 63 yards passing, 118 at Westside, 10 yards against Liberty Raleigh, 0 against Man. They're taking right now 47.8 yards per game is what they're allowing.
Wow.
Through that. Now, rushing defense, they gave up 47 against Tug, 160 against Westside. Liberty Raleigh, they gave up 5, and Man, they gave up 98. Now, think of that. Now, 310 yards total all year long on 106 rushes. Now, as you're sitting here looking at their stats, they're only giving up 3.1 yards a play. That's impressive, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, when you sit and look at them stats, I mean, it's shocking to see that, you know, I mean, really, the West Side game, if it wasn't for that West Side game, I mean, y'all would probably only y'all would have gave up less than 150 yards all year long if it wasn't for the West Side game added in there.
Hey, so, and that's a big shout out to the DC, man. And
Coach Ship.
Yeah, they getting it done. And these kids, they honestly, and you know, I'm very honest with you guys, these kids they have no clue how great they can be.
No.
You know, and we just try to explain that to them every day, and as well as keeping them humble. You know, because there's one little mismet and it can all fall apart. But you know, just keep them humble. But they have no clue how good they can be.
Yeah, we had the highlights there playing the. Now let's move on to our next game real quick. As in that game we had Perry Central and Shelby Valley. Perry Central beat Shelby Valley. It was an offensive explosion.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, 58 to 92, or 58 to 42 was the score. Kaiser Sloan was 6 for 12, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10 carries, 40 yards, 3 touchdowns. Seth Jackson, 28 carries, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we got the highlights playing in the background. So
got the graphic up.
And then we got Phoenix Eddington. This young man, 14 tackles, 2 interceptions. Go look at his stats, folks. I promise you, it's every game this kid has, 14. He has 18. He has 15, 12, 13. I mean, he is killing on the defensive side. And for him to get them 2 interceptions, he's another kid that should – are we playing the highlights?
I got the graphic. I had the graphic
on the bottom, the highlights. So we'll try to get them to you in a minute. Russ Osborne, 21 to 33 for 346 yards, 5 touchdowns. He also carried the ball 12 times for 102 yards and a score. Jesse Cook was 7 carries, 100 yards, and 2 TDs. Robert Collins had 11 tackles. So when you sit here and look, the other kid that really stood out to me was Noah Kilburn, the wideout. Look at this. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns in halfway through the first quarter. This kid is a next level wideout.
He really is. He really is, and they get the ball in his hands very well. I love how Coach Dixon is utilizing him and his offense and stuff. I mean, the kid is unbelievable. I thought when we was over there, when we did their game, he was one of my favorites. I'm like, man, like this kid can play some football, and he's very long, and he reminds me of a Dane Key.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
He reminds me of a Dane Key, and I love how he plays the game. And you would think that he's not physical. He's very physical.
Very physical, and that's the thing. He's just a sophomore.
And just a sophomore.
Yeah, I mean, Perry Central. When you take a look at Seth Jackson and the numbers that he's putting up right now at running back, you got Kaiser Sloan. I mean, you got receivers all over the field. I mean, Kaiser Sloan, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Was it that one? No, it wasn't. But he's spreading the ball out, and then on the defensive side, Phoenix Eddington, what he's doing is truly miraculous, man. When you see them tackle numbers, we've not seen these kind of tackle numbers put up since Mason Lovely.
Right.
So at McGoffin, and killing me in here. But as we move on to the next game here real quick, Ashland Russell, we got some highlights for them. Ashland defeats rival Russell 47-10. You had Brandon Houston with 6 for 10 passing with 40 yards, 1 TD. 3 carries, 21 yards with a TD. Braxton Jennings carried the ball 5 times for 140 yards and a touchdown. Sawyer Edens had 14 tackles, with Austin Nichols having 11 tackles. Andre Richardson Cruz, 13 tackles for 74 yards and a touchdown. And in this game right here, Ashland had 9 people score. Wow. 7 people scored 6 points or more.
Listen, man, Coach Tackett is doing a heck of a job with this Ashland team. I mean, which we knew that.
Yeah.
And their quarterback has just been beyond impressive.
Yeah.
Did I hear that he get hurt or what happened?
No, LeBron Strader. Yeah, he's out, and I'm hearing that at least till playoffs, maybe the season. So yeah, so when you sit there and look, I think they had over 500 yards trying to. Offense, but you had Brandon Houston running quarterback, which isn't ideal because he's such a good wideout. You hate to,
if you notice, they've done that before. A couple years ago, they brought in that number 22 because we played against him. He was a receiver, and they brought him in, and he was the quarterback because I guess their quarterback got hurt or something.
I do remember that. Yeah.
So they're not unfamiliar with that.
The Nathaniel Bogg says they are changing the game for these kids. So much exposure for them, this area. Thankful for what you do. Listen, we cannot do what we do without Real Estate Nate, who is a Mingo County native who really cares about the kids in Mingo and Pike County. Nate, we really appreciate you, man. We hope you're with us forever. When Real Estate Nate come on, a lot of things changed here at D&D and for the mountains. So big shout out to you, Nate, and everything that you do, man.
Absolutely. That's who I was talking to Nate whenever he said that I was the Dion. I told him I was the Wish, the one over I come in off the Wish with the terrible negative bank account and overweight ex-athlete.
Well, let me ask you this: have you got to? Well, we'll talk about that later. I want to go back to something we talked about last week. Now, Ashland. How good can Ashland be without Strader at QB?
That will determine on how the defense play, and not only how the defense play and is if the defense can stop them, I think Ashland can still put points up.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to change their style, I do believe, because Strader, he can run it really good.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to just change their style, and it's gonna depend on the defense stopping the other team, though.
Yeah, I think Coach Tackett, I think he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
He's one of the best football minds in the tri-state. So, real quick, we had Pikeville 40, Belfry 21, getting a win on Pond Creek. First time ever Pikeville went and won 5 games in a row against Belfry. First time it's ever happened. And Isaac Duty was 11 for 15, 107 yards, 2 TDs. Brendan Anthony with a monster game, 19 carries, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss with a collapsed lung, as we learned earlier. Jeremiah Anderson, 15 tackles. Jaden Justice, 12 tackles. Then for Belfry in a losing manner, Dre Young, 19 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown. He had 12 tackles on defense, forced fumble, which he returned for 95-yard touchdown. And then Ace Cottle, 6 carries, 68 yards, touchdown. Coy Queen and Ace Cottle both had 13 tackles apiece.
Wow.
Now, the thing that shocked me is whenever I was looking at the stats, every time you look at the stats on KHSAA, first thing that pops up is quarterback.
Right.
They had no quarterback stats, so I take it they didn't pass the ball any. So no surprise on Pond Creek, but with Caden Woolham at quarterback, this is going to be, Belfry's going to have to figure some things out quick, because the last time we seen an elite running back at quarterback, it didn't work out very well for him. So I hope that Chase Varney returns sooner than later.
Isn't Chapman returning sooner too?
Is he Tristan Chapman?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Have you heard anything, KJ?
No, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
last I heard, Varney was going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. This is 3 weeks, so I mean.
Okay, so hopefully he's back. They'll probably hold him for the golfing.
And they get a bye, exactly. They get a bye also within that. So they're going to be fine.
So they play McGolfin, and if they get that bye after the McGolfin, that would be great.
If somebody know, let us know. I think it is, though.
Yeah, I hope they get that going so they can get Varney back at quarterback and get things rolling, because Davis having a really great season up to that point.
Yeah, they're going to be fine once they get back together, though.
Yeah, then Letcher Central, 48, Wise, Virginia, 6. Gunnar Holbrook, 7 for 11, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also carried the rock 3 times for 30 yards and a score. Isaac Matthews, 16 carries, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns. Garrett Howard led the Cougars with 11 tackles. Junior Matthews, this may be his best coaching job yet.
Oh yeah, everybody counted him out after he lost all them dogs.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I didn't. I know I battled Junior for 3 years.
Yeah,
Bourbon, and I'm telling you, he gave me a run for my money every time. I think I'm 1-2 versus him.
Yep.
And we battled. We had some absolute battles, and it's a big shout out to him and what he's doing over there.
And Isaac Matthews, just like Gunnar Holbrook, true freshman quarterback. Isaac Matthews may be the most overlooked running back, right there with Seth Jackson from Perry.
I agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
2 very underrated running backs there.
I totally agree.
So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. KJ pushing us to the break real quick. When we come back, we'll go over the rest of the scores around the region. We will also release the top 10 before we go into next week's games. Come right back and join us on Crunch Time, folks. Hit that like and share button. Stop going out of town to take care of your health care needs when we can take care of you right here locally. Stop by and see us in Lenoir, West Virginia at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We are accepting new patients ages 2 and up. We do rapid COVID testing, see primary care, DOT physicals, and do well child and well adult exams. You can see nurse practitioner Tanya Chafin or one of her medical assistants, Holly Runyon or Haley Grimmett. Walk-ins are welcome. You can also call 304-236-3601 to make an appointment. Look forward to seeing you here at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. Gracie and Tate Merchandising has become a staple here in the Danville and Madison community. They'll make sure you find that treasure that's been eluding you. Everything you need under one roof. New items at discounted prices right here at Gracie and Tate Merchandising. Go Skyhawks! If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern coalfields. So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away.
Here at LB&T, we make online banking easy. We've taken the hassle out of applying for a loan on our new website. It's as simple as going to our lbnt.com website and choosing the loan product that best suits your needs.
Your loan on your time. Visit us at lbnt.com. You're only a click away.
So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away. It's easy to apply online at lbnt.com, and all decisions are made locally. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Dale Barton Quick Shop.
Real quick, Bill Simmons says the Mingo O-line's getting better every week. Lanny Mitchell says he was impressed on how they handled Jared and Harrison for man. Said they done a great job passing him off. And then said both O-line defense and defensive line played well, Chris Simmons said. Chris Center says Lawrence County lost to Shelby Valley and beat Perry. And then Perry beat Shelby Valley. So them three right there, you really don't know who's who,
right?
But because
that's what I'm saying, man. Anybody can get beat any given night.
Oh yeah,
you know that's why that's why I'm not really big on it's hard to even pick teams to who's going to win, who's not. Like anybody can get beat on any given night.
Absolutely, Yep. And Rodney Mannix said y'all should cover Hazard versus McGoffin Saturday. Both teams undefeated. We will be there, my man. The producer KJ will have that one. As Ryan Center says, Lawrence has a tough game at Pond Creek. Belfry plays McGoffin next week, then Lawrence the week after. And
so they don't have a bye before that Lawrence game.
Probably not. Nope. So and then Mate One and Williamson undefeated playing Saturday as well. Well, we're working on that, so we don't know yet. We think we got the fees covered. We're going to try to cover that one, and if we can make it happen, folks. So we'll let you know, keep you updated on that one. We want to get it. And then, so as we move on here, KJ, pop up the rest of the scores around the mountains. Let's see if any of them catches our eye.
Got Pikeville 40, Belfry 21. Floyd Central lost to Betsy Lane 41-8. Clay County beat Leslie County 50-12. Clinton County beat Jenkins 47-0. Johnson Central 34. Is that Don Community, Ohio 6? Tug Valley 54, East Ridge 6. South Laurel 22, Estill County 16. Fairview 36, Greene, Ohio 12, Lawrence County 44, Harlan County 20, Breathitt County 41, Hazard 6, Knott Central 51, Phelps 6, McGoffin County 16, Martin County 14, Greenup County 44, Montgomery County 29, Western Hills 38, Morgan County 18, Prestonsburg 13, Pike Central 7, Highlands 40, Raceland 0, Mason County 27, Rowan County 0, Ashland 47, Russell 10, Perry Central 58, Shelby Valley 42, West Carter 50, Powell County 12, Letcher Central 48, Wise Central Virginia 6, Spring Valley 35, Hurricane 48, Mingo Central 40, Man 0, Chapmanville 44, Nitro 43, Westside 49, Pikeview 6, Polka 26, Logan 20, Tulsa 46, Van 14, and Winfield defeated Wayne 26-21.
As you look at them right there, man, a couple of these I want to talk about real quick. Of course, we was at the Wayne-Winfield game. Mm-hmm. Winfield they're a different level. That game, it was close at the end, but if you watched that game, it really wasn't close.
Really?
This is a good Winfield team.
Yeah,
I knew that it was really
They got a stud quarterback.
Yeah, really
I knew
good.
They was good, yeah.
And then Chapmanville getting a 1.44-43 win over Nitro, and you know who made the play to win the game? Who? R.J. Jones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we know
Congrats,
Lee's up there smiling.
Absolutely. Congrats, RJ, man. I know your pops is smiling heavily.
RJ's having a tremendous year right now for the Tigers.
Absolutely. He's a D1 kid.
Yeah, I agree.
Like every bit of it, and just the way he moves. I mean, and coming off that ACL surgery, you can't even tell he had one.
No.
He plays phenomenal.
He is, man. So make sure you guys get out and do your homework on R.J. Jones. This kid,
yes, big time.
He's slowly building a beast there in Chattanooga. Yeah. And then Spring Valley, man, continues to still go winless. And the other wins or other losses, I didn't really. I was like, yeah. But this is a game that normally Spring Valley's winning, 42-0.
Right.
In past years.
Yeah.
And right now, that's tough, man, right now for Spring Valley. I mean, to continue to lose games like that.
Hurricane's tough, though, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying, they're
right.
really
good.
good.
You're absolutely right. They're really tough. I think Spring Valley's thing is they're young.
Yeah.
And they're going to be very, very scary, I think, next year.
I watched some highlights on this game. Spring Valley was up 28-0.
Oh, really?
Or it's 25, somewhere in that area, and then Hurricane come back and won. They was up about 4 touchdowns, and then Hurricane got hot, come back and won.
Wow. Well, the coach from is at Hurricane, he was at South Charleston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I read some things this week or whatever, but he was at South Charleston.
Well, a wise man once told me that when Wayne's good, Spring Valley's bad.
That's true.
Said when Spring Valley's good, Wayne's bad.
Yeah.
So they was more or less saying that the Wayne kids stayed at home, this year, and that goes into a long ways to helping Spring Valley.
Yeah.
But then as you sit here, obviously one of the games that shocked me, and you was right on the money with this one, Highlands slaughter and Raceland.
Yeah, I knew it. Highlands is very good.
Yeah, 40-0.
They're really good.
Yeah, I hate it because I love my guy Logan Lundy and the Raceland Rams.
But they got Jared Lorenzen's son quarterback.
Oh, do they?
He's not the starting quarterback, but he's the JV quarterback right now.
Yeah,
and he's a stud.
Is he a freshman or?
I think he's a freshman, maybe. Or he may be an eighth grader. One of the two. I know he's at Highlands. I've seen some video. I'll get the video. Make sure we get it.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I seen some video last week on him. Stud.
Yeah, I love to see that, man.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Just like his pops.
Yeah, listen, Jared was a great guy.
Yes.
Me and you both had the interactions with him and was friends with him. Good dude. So I couldn't be more happy for his son. And then sitting here, not Central, getting a big win over Phelps. Now here's another one. McGoffin County taking care of Martin County. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals, man, because this is a team that Martin County should have had a special year. This offensive line, we've both seen him. Tate Crum, maybe the best center in the mountains.
Yeah. Is he a senior?
Center.
Is he a senior?
Yeah,
this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a senior. And then
they colleges need to get on him.
Yeah, the kid is a stud.
Yes, he is.
And then you take a look at skill positions. Madden Miller, what he's doing defensively, seems like everything's clicking. I just don't know what it is. I think they made quarterback play. They may not figure it out yet, but this is a really good team.
Yes.
So I don't understand why it ain't translating to wins.
And it's difficult, man, because I've been in Martin County situation like in Bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a great team and everything, but there's just certain things that just don't fall in place when you're playing, and you can't blame it on the coach, and you can't blame it on it's like winning is very difficult.
Yeah.
And you have to have things go your way. You have to have things that just line up.
And don't
but
forget,
I still think they're a good team.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. Yeah. And when you see them lose to McGoffin County, everybody sees 0-4 McGoffin County, beating them. Well, listen, Aiden Barnett is back under center. So, and no matter who he plays against, he's normally going to be the best athlete on the field.
He's a stud.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not, this is a good McGoffin County team with Barnett under center.
And that's a huge win for McGoffin.
Yeah, and then Breathitt County, now I played a little okey doke with you on the pick'em last week because I knew Hazard's quarterback was out, and so Max Pelfrey. So, that I kind of baited you in on that one.
I picked Breathitt.
Huh?
I picked Breathitt.
No, I think you picked Hazard.
No, I picked Breathitt.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I didn't pick Hazard because Paris beat him.
Oh, okay.
And Wells told me some things about Hazard.
Okay.
So that's why I went with Breathitt.
And then, when you're sitting here, I mean, you had South Laurel taking care of Estill County, but obviously the win that I know everybody wants to hear us talk about is Betsy Lane taking care of Floyd Central. This right here, that was the win. I mean, we talked about it last show. This is where we said, I said that they, it was I said, well, I want to see, what they've done because no disrespect, but being kind of a cupcake schedule up to that point.
Right.
Well, they went out and they showed it. That's a good Floyd Central line in the trenches, and if they're able to go and do what they did against the Floyd Central in the trenches like that, then I'm starting to build the momentum and getting behind these Bobcats. Carter Parsons, the real deal. They got a really good running back in McCutcheon, and then Dylan Williams. 3 interceptions, tied a school record.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean,
they got them boys playing. I'm a big Betsy Lane fan.
And people don't understand is, listen, we're the biggest Coach Darryl and Coach Quillen fans they are.
Absolutely.
But it's a sports talk show, so
listen,
we're going to call it like we see it.
They pick against me, y'all.
Yep. So, but as we look at that, rounds it out. Now let's see how that impacted the top 10. So real quick, guys, let's take a look here at the D&D Mountain top 10.
We've got Ashland coming in at number 1 with 18 votes. Raceland number 2 with 1 first place vote. Pikeville at 3. Scott at 4 with 1 first place vote. Belfry at 5. Mingo jumps up a spot to number 6. Johnson Central drops a spot to 7. Greenup County stays at 8th. Lawrence County moves up 4 spots to number 9. And Prestonsburg jumps into the top 10, moving up 6 spots.
Now, who was the others receiving votes?
Dropped out of the top 10 was Pikeville, or Pike Central, number 9. Shelby Valley was number 10 last week. And Prestonsburg ahead of Betsy Lane on votes received. They both received, but they went ahead on votes 10-7. Others receiving votes was Betsy Lane 12, Perry Central 6, Man 5, Pike Central 3, Shelby Valley 3, Wayne 2, and Fleming County 1.
So basically there was a tie with Prestonsburg and Betsy Lane at 10, and how they break the tie, or how I guess technically we break the tie, is it's whoever gets the most votes. So they both tied on points, but Prestonsburg had more votes. So that's how that panned out. But when you sit here and look at it, I mean, where did we mess up?
Honestly, my opinion, and I'm a realist, I think that Mingo Central should be 7, Johnson Central 6. Just by scheduling. I've coached in Kentucky. I know the teams that they played. I know the teams that we played. And I'm just going to be real on that. I think that we should have come in 7. They could have come in 6. And I think the rest is fine.
Listen, I couldn't agree more with you. That's how I voted. Is I had Mingo Central 7, Johnson Central at 6, and I was waiting to see this week against Independence before.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree totally.
Yeah, if y'all beat Independence, then I'm like, okay, then.
I think that we beat Independence, or it's a great game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It can't be like it can't be a blowout. We can't get a blowout, or they can't blow us out.
Yeah, it's got to be, y'all got to keep it close.
Absolutely, and when you get into Independence, I've coached in Kentucky. I know Johnson Central. They're equivalent to Johnson Central in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with you, and I think you're spot on.
So that's where I was at on that.
Yeah, and then when you take a look at the bottom two, I mean, listen, this is a situation where Betsy Lane's undefeated. A lot of people, would put them in that top 10. I think I can't remember if I had them in there or not on mine, but when you sit there and look, this is the perfect scenario because they have a chance to win and get themselves in the top 10.
I agree.
If they beat the 10 team.
Right.
So, and we know that that's going to be a big game because Coach Darryl, a former Prestonsburg Black Cat, so he'll have a chance to get his team in the top 10 if they can take care of business at home. So we'll talk about that game here in a minute, guys, on Pick'em. But that's about it. Pike Central. I mean, they dropped out after losing one game to Prestonsburg. Yeah. So I mean, do I agree with that or not? I don't know. I mean, because Pike Central. If I'm gonna say Betsy Lane, hasn't played a great schedule, I'm gonna have to say the same thing about Pike Central. But the thing with Pike Central is that scares me about them is they was doing it with defense,
right?
All their games are low scoring. Their offense ain't putting up a lot of points, so that's what scared me about them. But I do think this is a very good Pike Central team, and anytime you got a defense like that and a special teams like they do, then you got a chance to do something special.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
So that's going to take us in that one. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go straight into Pick'em. So make sure you guys come right back. Join us on Crunch Time. Gracie and Tate Merchandising has become a staple here in the Danville and Madison community. They'll make sure you find that treasure that's been eluding you. Everything you need under one roof. New items at discounted prices. Right here at Gracie and Tate Merchandising. Go Skyhawks! If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. Smoking Hot Vape Shop in Inez, Kentucky carries a wide selection of disposable vapes, juice, mods, batteries, and accessories, as well as a great selection of Delta products. Smoking Hot guarantees authenticity of products and allows you to try before you buy on disposable products using a sanitary test tip. Open 7 days a week. Stop in and check them out. Find them on Facebook or visit their website, SmokingHotKY.com, for complete hours. Stop by and see your friends at the end of Route 3. Here at Appalachian Medical, our team has extensive experience in dealing with respiratory disease. That's why we specialize in respiratory products and disease management. We want to bring our knowledge and know-how to help patients live a healthier life. Appalachian Medical was developed by clinical professionals. We have more than 30 years of combined experience in respiratory disease management, case management, critical care, and more. Our respiratory therapists are skilled and compassionate. With offices in Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, let us be the ones you trust with your medical health care.
Crunch time. Pigs can pick 'em.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Gracie and Tate Merchandise and our man Seth Cox, Darryl.
Listen, Gracie and Tate Merchandise and David, Scott, Skyhawk fans, make sure you stop by there. You buy something because he saved Scott being in our coverage area, and I'm glad he did because Seth stepped up, sponsored in that area, and that was an area we added last year, just Scott on its own because we wanted to cover them kids there, and when he heard that we wasn't streaming games, he was worried about it, so he said, "Hey guys," he said, "I'm sponsoring, I'm backing you, I'm sponsoring these kids. Make sure you go to Gracie and Tate Merchandise and support Gracie and Tate."
Yeah, Scott, I mean, they got a Kennedy Ward guy over there right
Yep,
now.
absolutely.
And Matt Fry, so.
I was going to bring that up to you later in the show. Matt Fry, I think right now, it's going to be hard for anybody else to I mean, of course, there's some other players putting up numbers, but what Matt Fry's done over his career, this is a kid, David, that he's a next level QB. That could play Division I.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a Division I kid.
Yeah.
I mean, just his poise. I mean, I'm very high on him.
Yep.
Big fan of Coach Dillon and his dad, Coach Fry, the OC. But I'm telling you, man, he's a big dog.
Yep.
And he's a terror to try to prepare for.
I agree, and you're going to have to do it in 2 weeks.
I know. Next week.
Jamie Hager says Pikeville High School is looking to add a game September 29th. Contact the staff. We will make sure we get that out there, Jamie. Somebody says that Lexington Catholic has an open date. So, listen, hey, if I'm Coach Mack, I mean, I know Coach Mack, he's going to play all comers. He's going to play anybody, but I don't know anybody. After their schedule, I don't know if you want to play that one too, knowing that they're banged up a little bit right now. So, I mean, that's tough. I don't know if I would take that one or not, but I know Coach Mack, and he's not going to run from anybody. Joe Kinzer says Donnie Mays coming from South Charleston, turning Hurricane into a beast. Said Hurricane has a wide receiver commit to WVU.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yep.
Brandy Lafferty says taking Betsy Lane over Peaburg. Go get them, Harley Quillen.
They have a quarterback that's committed to Marshall.
Oh, do they?
Yep. He committed at the beginning of the season, and the receiver he committed the other day.
Well, no wonder they're where they're at. So, and then Lewis Ratliff says Pikeville should be number 2, and I agree with David. Said David's team being up 1 over Johnson Central. I don't see how you could put Pikeville number 2 when Raceland beat them.
Right.
I understand Raceland got beat by Highlands.
Yeah, Highlands is a different beast.
That's what I'm saying.
They're different beasts. And Highlands is 5A.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If it wasn't a 5A team doing it to them, I would understand.
Right. Yeah.
But you're talking about a Class A versus 5A.
Right.
And then, same situation when Pikeville lost to LCA.
Yeah.
Same situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then said Pikeville, he said, lost to Raceland by 1, and Raceland got blown out by Highlands. Well, Pikeville got blown out by LCA, so it equals out. I mean, anytime, and that was a 2A school versus a 1A, which, listen, at the end of the day, LCA, even though they're 2A, they're still as powerful as a 5A.
They
so,
really are.
Yeah, no slight there. And then said Dwight Gerald says, great show. Thanks for what you guys do for the kids. Just keep grinding the Bobcats. Said all business, no nonsense. Right now, said 1 week at a time. And then
I like that message.
Kanan Stiltner says anybody play basketball or football tonight, and Pikeville beat a 5A team. So I don't know who.
Pulaski.
Pulaski is who they beat. So that's tough. I mean, I just the head to head.
Belfry beat Pulaski too, right?
Not this year.
Not this year?
Yeah, they lost to Southwestern.
Yeah. Southwestern,
yeah.
okay.
So that was the situation there. But as we're going into it, KJ, Pigskin Pick'em, let me go ahead and take care of these two guys to my left. So it rolling.
We know who took care of last year.
That's right.
Me.
Me.
All right, guys. Friday, first game on the slate, Greenup County at Ashland. That's going to be a good one.
I'm gonna go Ashland. They gotta do something for me not to stay on their wagon.
Now, is this at Putnam?
Yeah, that's all. If it was at the farm, I'd probably go Greenup. Yeah. With the quarterback out for Ashland, but it's at Putnam, so I'm going Ashland myself.
Upset alert, Greenup County.
Oh,
Greenup County's going to go to Putnam, get the win. No LeBron Strader. It's going to take them a minute. This team right here, it's going to be tough because, I know Ashland can do it with that defense. They can game plan and stop Tyson Salmon, but it's going to take a lot of game planning because this kid right now is a one-man wrecking crew. So give me Greenup County pulling up the upset.
Okay.
Lewis County at Bath County.
Lewis County.
Lewis County.
Lewis County. And listen, Lewis County real quick. Julian Puente, KJ, this kid is one of the most overlooked wide receivers out there, David. Julian Puente, and I'm trying to see his stats here.
I got it.
Okay.
He has 30 receptions, 383 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Now, and he didn't play last week. I watched this kid against Prestonsburg. David, you can't take your eyes off this kid. This kid,
really?
No, this kid dominates the game from a wide receiver position. He's got a good quarterback in Aiden Cooper, but this young man right here, he's a next level wideout, and he's only a sophomore, just like Noah Kilburn. This, we're very rich.
Sophomore receiving crew, unbelievable. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but they think Aiden Burke is a junior. He's just a sophomore.
See, I thought he was a junior.
No, he's just a sophomore.
So that's crazy. You add him. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do my research. And next week we'll bring up the sophomore receivers that's making noise.
That'll work. I like that.
Prestonsburg at Betsy Lane.
Prestonsburg at Betsy Lane.
Well, let me tell you, David. Betsy Lane has never started 6-0. They're 5-0 right now. They've never started 6-0 in the history of Betsy Lane. Prestonsburg leads this series 29-1. The only time that Betsy Lane has ever beat Prestonsburg was in 1986, and they beat the Black Cats 12-8 at Betsy Lane.
Well, let me get Betsy Lane this year.
Betsy Lane cracks into the top 10. Let's
Betsy
go
Lane.
Bobcats.
Betsy Lane. I think Betsy Lane's going to get it for one thing and one thing only. Guess what? It's at home. And they're on fire, man.
Yep.
I will not go against Betsy Lane again this year.
Nope, me either. I'm going Betsy Lane right now.
Well, I'm going against them this week. Listen, 29-1. Numbers don't lie. 29-1.
Hold on. Did you not forget what happened last week?
What?
Mingo's never won it, man.
That's true. But here's the other thing. Prestonsburg took down an undefeated Pike Central last week. They are the undefeated killers.
Yeah,
so now they're going to.
I'm still Betsy Lane.
This is the second straight week they got a chance to take down and hand an undefeated team their first loss. And listen, this right here, I know Coach Darryl. I know he wants this win, and I'd be tickled to death for him if he got it. But I think Coach Brewer, I think Jacob Rose, leading rusher in the mountains. I think Big Logan Hall. I think that this is going to be a tough game for them in the trenches. Dalton Elliott is playing at an all-time level. 29-1. I think they make it 30-1.
Letcher Central at Breathitt County.
Letcher at Breathitt.
And it seems like Breathitt, with that big win over Hazard, seemed like they got their offense rolling. As the previous week, they only had 2 yards of offense against Johnson Central. Now, they last week, they had it rolling on D&D Sports Network against Hazard. The offense is clicking. Did they beat Letcher?
It's at Breathitt, you said? It's hard to go against Breathitt at Breathitt.
It is.
I think this is going to be a really good ball game.
But it's going to be a really good ball. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. With that being said, I'm going to have to go with Breathitt.
I think right now Junior Matthews has everything clicking there. I really like Gunnar Holbrook. I think that's one thing that Breathitt don't have with the injuries they had is a great quarterback play. I think that, to me, if they can take and control the clock, then I think Letcher gets this win. And Isaac Matthews, right now, the way he's running the football, it's going to be hard to stop him. I'm taking Letcher.
Breath it.
Okay.
We're trying to give you a chance to get back in the game.
Yeah, we're trying to help you out a little bit.
You're either digging deeper or going to get close.
Hey, I think I won last week.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't get the pick. West Carter at East Carter.
West Carter.
East. I'm going East. Yeah.
Yeah, I think East Carter, West Carter, but if there's any game where you could see an upset, it's this one.
Right.
But I'm taking East Carter.
Jenkins at East Ridge.
East Ridge.
East Ridge.
Jenkins at East Ridge? Yeah, East Ridge.
Russell at Fleming County. I'm going Fleming.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It's at Fleming. I'm going Fleming County.
It's at Fleming.
Yeah, I'm going to take Fleming.
I'll take Fleming.
Pike Central at Floyd Central. That's the Citizens Bank Game of the Week.
Give me Pike Central.
Now, this game right here, Pike Central leads the series 7-0 over Floyd Central, but they've all been good games. In 2017, it's 35-34. 2019, it was 19-12. If you remember, in 2020, we had that Xbox game 70-50.
I remember that.
And Matt
Jones?
No.
Anderson.
Yeah, Matt Anderson had that unbelievable ball game against the Jaguars. And then in 2022, 30-28. They've had some really close ball games and memorable ball games. I think this is the year that Pike Central continues to roll, and I think I think they're going to get the win over Floyd Central.
Yeah, me too. Pike Central.
I'm tired of betting against Jameer Knuckles.
I got to apologize to the Hazard fans, but Corbin's probably the best team in the state. Corbin at Hazard, I'm going Corbin.
Corbin.
Big.
Yeah.
Corbin, this is no disrespect. Love Coach Howard, love Max Pelfrey, but I think Corbin, them two twins, are the real deal.
Beyond that.
That game against Frederick Douglass was one of the best ball games I ever watched. I went back, rewatched that. These two kids, man, Kentucky are getting superstars with these two kids.
And a
Corbin
receiver.
gets the big win. Yep.
They're getting a receiver from Corbin, too.
Yeah, they offered him after the game.
Yeah. Boyd County at Johnson Central.
Johnson Central.
JC.
Boyd County at Johnson Central. I'm going to go upset alert again. I think Boyd County gets the win. I think right now...
He just wants us to win, KJ. We can't help him.
Well, here's my thought process.
Johnson
Central struggles on offense. One thing Boyd County don't struggle with is offense with Rhett Holbrook at quarterback. I think this is a game to where, honestly, Boyd County, and I could be completely off base, they're kind of the Mingo Central of Kentucky. If I was going to compare y'all to a team, and, Mingo Central jumped up.
You can't compare us to them. We have way more athletes than them. We will destroy them. And I'm just being real. I'm just being way honest. You can compare us to like a Greenup.
See, I don't think that. I think Greenup, is a one-trick pony. Where I think Boyd County, I swear, I think Boyd County, when you take a look, this is a very good Boyd County team.
I agree.
Just like y'all are very good, but I think that Rhett Holbrook.
We're good right now.
Okay. But I still think that.
Hey, we got an opening next year. Holler at me.
Hey, there we go. We can make it happen.
We can make it happen, and we'll travel.
I would love to see that. Oh, you would travel to Boyd?
Absolutely.
Yes, cut this clip. Yes.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Right.
Estill County at Lawrence County.
Give me Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Estill at Lawrence, man. Estill, man, they've been so good, especially with that freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
But it being at Louisa, I think Lawrence County and Coach Short's going to take care of business.
Yeah. Paintsville at Leslie County.
Paintsville at Leslie.
Give me Leslie.
I'm taking our guy Landry Collette in Leslie County. I just Paintsville. I've got to see them, do it a couple games in a row first, before I can say, that okay, they're on, but I tell you, Crayson Lafferty, A.J. Johnson, the freshmen are playing really well right now. Anderson Lawfer, that's one thing that Paintsville, they have no issue with. Their freshman class may be the best freshman class in the mountains.
Give me Leslie.
Yeah, I'm taking Leslie too.
Belfry at McGoffin.
Belfry.
Yeah, Belfry. I think even without Chase Varney and and Aiden Barnett, I think it's going to be a little too much.
Yeah.
But that's a game that we definitely want to pay attention to because you got two coaching legends on the sidelines, and Philip Haywood and Coach DeRossi.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, two old rivals.
Yeah.
Perry Central at Martin County. Perry
Central at Martin. I can't go against Perry.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Perry's playing too good at football, and Martin County, I still think they're still trying to figure things out. But if they do get things, this is a game that this should have been a pick 'em, a 50-50. But Martin County ain't playing great football right now, so you can't really do a pick 'em. But they do got the talent to beat them. But I think Perry, right now they're playing too good.
Right.
Not Central at Morgan County.
Not at Morgan County. Man, that's hard. I'll take Morgan County in this one.
Morgan County.
Yeah, I think Morgan. I mean, this is Morgan. They're playing really good football. To be out of district team, they're playing really good. I'm taking Morgan easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like Morgan.
Yeah.
Fairview at Powell County.
Fairview at Powell.
Yeah.
Give me Powell.
Yeah.
Powell's played good. They just been battling some good teams.
Yeah.
You got to watch Powell, didn't you, Darryl?
Yeah.
At Floyd Central.
Yeah.
Is the running back back?
That's the thing. I don't know if the running back's back. And I tell you, this Manning kid for Fairview's pretty good, man.
He is.
But, yeah, but
quarterback.
I think I just seen his numbers,
Yeah,
so I think he's a running quarterback. But he, don't quote me on that because, like I said, I've not watched him, but I've just seen his numbers that he's putting up. As yardage and touchdowns, he's one of the leaders. So.
It's hard to play in Powell County.
Yeah. So, but I'm definitely taking Powell County at being there.
Yeah, I'm going Powell too. Newport Central Catholic at number 2 Raceland.
Newport Central at Raceland. Give me Raceland.
Raceland.
Newport Central at Raceland.
Phelps at Tulsa.
Give me Tulsa.
Yeah, I think Tulsa right now, they got that first win. I think they're going to build a little momentum, and Coach Thompson and crew is going to take care of the Hornets.
Yeah. Our Logan Bank and Trust game of the week in West Virginia, number 4 Scott at Chapmanville.
This is the Battle of Corridor G. Scott has won the last 2. They lead the series 35-33 and 1. Last week, Scott steamrolled Point Pleasant 68-20, and Chapmanville upset Nitro 44-43. Tigers scored on the final play of the game, then tacked on the 2-point conversion for the win.
Scott.
Yeah, I think Scott, man. I think, Matt Fry and them.
They're the number 1 team.
Yeah.
They're the number 1 team in 2A.
That's it. In our coverage area, until y'all's game, if something happens there or something, I'm saying Scott's the best West Virginia team in our coverage area, and Coach Belcher and them, they still got a little bit to prove. So I'm taking the Scott Skyhawks.
Winfield at Logan.
Winfield.
Yeah, Winfield.
Wyoming East at Man.
Yeah, man.
Last time you picked Wyoming East.
Yeah. West Side slaughtered them.
62-6.
Yeah, so definitely not making that mistake again.
All right, here we go. Independence at Mingo. David don't pick, but who you got, Darryl?
Man, coming into this game, Mingo Central is a 32.5-point dog in this game.
Wow.
Now,
who makes them odds up?
Listen,
it was 62.
What? They gave up a point all year on defense. You're a 60-point, 2-point dog?
Before season started.
You've gained 30 points, man.
Yeah, that's why I said we're doing something right. But guys, we got to prove ourselves. We ain't proved ourselves. We one game at a time. we ain't proved ourselves. You know, we if we want to get respect, we got to beat those teams that have that respect. And I thought that started with, you know, with the county, and then the other one started with man.
Yeah.
Now it's time, like, what can we do now? So I mean, I couldn't tell you we're not playing. If I was playing, I'd be, yeah, we gonna win.
I tell you this, I said it last week about Betsy Lane, and I'm gonna say it this week. And it's not anything near cupcake because you played quality teams, but I still don't know with the teams how y'all dominated them. So I really don't know what Mingo is yet. You know, and this is the first game that I'm really, going to have a chance to really judge y'all against, a top tier opponent. Although that man win was a really good win. That was the number one team in the state, in Class A. So that was a huge win. But I'm like, okay, was that just a fluke? Or, for y'all to dominate, them that much, your defenses only gave up 6 points. Looking at what your defense is doing is definitely special. But, it's one of them cases like, man, they still got to prove it to me. But I think they prove it to me this week. I think Mingo pulls the upset and shocks a lot of people in the state. I think they take care of business on Minor Mountain. That defense is rough right now.
Well, me and my man Joe Kinzer called the game the other night at Man. And at the end, I don't know if David listened, but we said we are now drinking the Kool-Aid.
No, okay.
So, well, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Joe's drinking the sugar-free Kool-Aid.
There you go.
But I'm going Mingo, man. I'm on the train, man. I am. I'm on the train.
Hey.
Yep.
I picked against them every week.
I loved it, though.
I'm on the train.
Listen,
we have drank the Kool-Aid. We are on the mountain.
Yeah,
don't break the tradition. Wow.
They made us pay, but I'm telling you, I did not see. I thought that was laughable whenever I took and looked at the Massey ratings and seen 32.5 points. I was like, how in the world is 32.5 point dog? I think Mingo Central gets the win here. This is a tough 2-week stretch. I think they also know they got Scott the next week. So if they want, I think they know, like, okay, we got to take care of business this week, before we go there, because we want to go 2-0, but at least we need to go 1-1. And this one right here, you take care of business first, then you worry about Scott. So I think they take care of business, KJ.
I do too, man. I agree. Riverside at Spring Valley.
Riverside at Spring Valley get their first win of the season.
Spring Valley.
Yeah, Spring Valley. I think they win big in this one.
Nitro at Wayne.
At Wayne.
Give me Wayne.
This is a big game.
Give me Wayne in this one.
Wayne by 2 touchdowns.
Hold on, no. Give me Nitro.
He must know something.
Give me Nitro.
Wayne's dropped 2 games here, I think back to back here.
Yeah, but
Nitro has also.
Yeah, that's and they lost in a stunning way against Chapmanville. Mm-hmm. But when I sit here and look at this Wayne team, I know this is a good Wayne team. And I just, when I sit there, okay, they lost to Chapmanville. Mm-hmm. Well, just measuring by that, I think Wayne beats Nitro by at least 12, 13 points.
Well, the way I look at it, Wayne went into Scott, was up with 7 minutes to go in that game. Scott ended up beating them by, 12 points?
Yeah.
And then they go in to Winfield and lose by 5. Yeah, I think Wayne, I honestly think Wayne 2 touchdowns.
Is that all of them?
Nope. Saturday's game, Shelby Valley at E-Town.
Shelby Valley at E-Town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with our mountain guys. Let's go Shelby Valley.
It's tough for the mountains to go down there at E-Town and get a win.
Oh, I know.
That's a very tough place, but I think right now these are some ticked off Wildcats, and I think Coach Hampton and crew go down and take care of business.
Yeah. I'm going Shelby Valley too.
Okay.
Now we're on to the college pick'em.
Now this is my favorite.
First game, Kentucky is a 13.5 point favorite at Vanderbilt.
I pick them to cover.
Yeah. Last year Vanderbilt won this ball game.
Yeah, but Kentucky got the running back.
Yeah. That's why I pick him to cover.
Yeah,
he's going to have a great game.
That Kentucky went and stowed Ray Davis. And
no, Ray needed us. He said, I shook a crystal ball and Big Blue Nation just popped up in there. And it covered my heart. Yeah, you know, it's just, this is what it was.
Well, here's going to be the interesting thing. You know, conditioning, the conditions ain't great right now down there at Vanderbilt as they're working on the stadium. And Kentucky,
the pop-up tents and all that.
Yeah, Kentucky's not going to be in a locker room. They're going to be in a tent, literally.
That doesn't matter in college. It don't matter because in college everybody do their own thing. It's different.
I just think I don't think you're going to have that relaxing feel in the air condition. I think it's going to be hot.
Oh no, man!
And
they got all kinds of stuff now.
I think
we had air conditioners in our shoulder pads when we went to Florida when I played. So imagine what they have now. Yeah.
Well, that's I do think the conditions affect the Wildcats, but I think Kentucky gets the win, but I don't think they cover.
So you're taking Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I am too. I'm taking Vanderbilt. I don't think Kentucky, I just don't think they beat them by 13.5 or by 14 at Vanderbilt.
No, their offense ain't clicking right now.
Yeah, they will.
Virginia Tech at Marshall. Marshall is a 5-point favorite over Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I'll take Marshall to cover.
Yeah, I think Marshall too. I mean, listen, get on the pain train.
VTech is actually they're struggling right now.
I can tell you what, I'm gonna take Virginia Tech in the points. Ohio State at number 9 Notre Dame. Ohio State is a 3-point favorite.
I'm gonna take Notre Dame.
I am too. I'm riding with the Irish here. I think they're going to pull the upset and get the win.
Upset.
I think Ohio State. Now, how about this? We got Coach David Thompson, got his first win, and he's tuning in to Crunch Time. Coach Thompson, glad to have you join us and picking with us.
Yeah, congratulations too, man. That's big time.
Yep.
Yeah, Notre Dame got the Hartman kid from Wake Forest, the quarterback that was real good there last year, and he has been slinging it around at Notre Dame this year with 350, 400 yards a game.
Joe Parker there from Louisa,
yeah.
Lawrence County.
Yep.
So that's UK Wildcat. So
Yep.
All right.
They're still going to take the.
Texas Tech at West Virginia. Texas Tech is a 6-point favorite.
Give me West Virginia in this one. I'm gonna call for the upset. I know West Virginia haven't had good luck with Texas Tech, but I think they're gonna come through on this one. Good quarterback play last week, even though their quarterback got hurt.
I think Neil Brown is starting to get a little bit of momentum up there, and I'm gonna take West Virginia.
My man Joe Kinzer says Tech, and he knows a lot about West Virginia football, so I'm going Texas Tech. Last one. Number 19, Colorado at number 10, Oregon. Oregon is a 21-point favorite.
Dion, you my dude.
Travis Hunter being out kills him.
He's out, yeah. And I'm gonna go with Oregon, but I don't think they're gonna put that much.
So you're gonna take Colorado in the points?
Yeah,
got you. I'm gonna take Colorado in the points too. I really don't have nothing to say. I hate the Travis Hunter injury, the way it happened.
Yeah.
And that was...
Well, like he said, it's football.
Yeah, even Coach Sanders, he come out in his interview,
football,
man.
And I hate that they're sending death threats and all that crazy mess, but it's football.
And I tell you, I think that this game right here, Dion and them, Dion is the ultimate motivator.
Yeah.
I think right now this is the first time this year that their backs have been truly against the wall. Absolutely. And everybody's against them. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to take and use that for motivation, and I think Colorado, I don't think Oregon covers. So
I'm with that.
Yep, so I'm taking Colorado too. And how about Dion getting a sunglass deal for his team?
Yeah, he's smart.
That's great, man.
He's very smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, he's got every platform there. Yes. ESPN First Take was there. You got the Fox Big Noon has been there
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
Fox, the undisputed, he's got every media outlet up there stationed in Colorado. Their sales just in their small businesses the first week are gone up like $18 million since he's
Oh
been
yeah,
there.
The tickets went from $102 to $516.
They're the highest ticket sales in the nation in college
and they're
football.
gonna continue to sell out.
Yep, that's
It's already sold out for the year.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna
Crazy,
continue
man.
to sell out.
To a 1-11 team last year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the final segment. I promise you don't want to miss this, guys. Come right back and join us. You're watching Crunch Time with David and Darryl. Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better. At Giovanni's Pizza in West Logan, we got subs, calzones, wings, pizza, and more. Stop by today. Great service with great deals. We also got a newly renovated and remodeled dining room where you can enjoy your game day celebrations or relax after a trail ride. We look forward to seeing you at Giovanni's in Logan, West Virginia.
Hi everybody, Dave Baker here for Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Do you want to love your car even more? How about putting extra cash in your pocket each month by refinancing with new low rates at CBK? It is fast, it's easy. All you have to do is log on to wearecitizens.bank.
Come visit the Huntington Ale House, where you get the best steak, burgers, and brews in the Mountaineer State. It's an all-American steakhouse voted the #1 mac and cheese in West Virginia. We serve brunch all day. 48 draft beers on tap with the state's best craft beer selection. Half-price happy hour with half price on selection appetizers, drafts, and cocktails from 3 to 6 p.m. and again, 9 p.m. to close. The Huntington Ale House is also open to hosting events and parties in our upstairs section. Give us a call at 304-522-2537 or contact us via huntingtonl.com. We look forward to seeing you. Trailhead Bar and Grill in Maplewood, West Virginia is making sure trail riders and locals are staying happy and full. One thing's a guarantee at Trailhead is great food and great service. Come watch your favorite ball game, have a party, or we'll host your events at Trailhead Bar and Grill, proud supporter of the Mingo Central Miners and all mountain athletes.
All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time. This segment of the show is sponsored by Real Estate Nate.
Guys, as we talked earlier, Real Estate Nate is a native of Mingo County. This man really cares about mountain athletes. Guys, we beg you, whether you're buying or you're selling. The maestro Thomas Rainey sold his house and sold it quickly. He signed with Real Estate Nate and had his house sold within 2 days.
Absolutely, and I think Lanny D. Mitchell talk about the Mingo Central soccer team, and he is doing a phenomenal job. I'm a big fan of Coach Brad. He's doing a phenomenal job. Them kids is doing a phenomenal job. I get to watch them every day practice and put in the hard work, and I'm beyond proud of coaching his team, and big supporters of him also.
Yeah, I'd love to cover them someday. I mean, this Mingo Central team finally doing something.
Absolutely, we're trying, and actually we're trying to cover them, but there's some things we're trying to work out right now to be able to cover them. But they really deserve the coverage because I'm going to tell you right now, they're phenomenal. They're doing some great things.
I agree. I think they're doing really good things. Coach Rawls, congratulations on the season so far.
Absolutely.
Lewis Ratliff says that Dion makes as much as his son, $5.1 million, and drives a Rolls Royce.
He could have drove that Rolls Royce without that 5.1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not like Dion was ever hurting. And the thing I liked about that game was how about his son scoring and doing the Dion shuffle in the end zone.
Yeah, I like that.
It sends chills through you.
Yeah. Dion said he don't know how to dance, but it was okay.
Yeah, that one was the Nebraska game when he
Yeah. And So as you're sitting here looking, going over here some of the stuff we talked about UK football, Devin Leary. Right now, I'm still I know he's a good quarterback, but I'm not he's a great quarterback yet.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming at because we're so used to Levis and the basically all the quarterbacks just getting those big plays. But if you think about it, we haven't seen as much as Dane Key a lot this year like that. And certain other players, we haven't seen that. I know Brown.
Dane Key's not having a great year.
No, Brown is been okay. Robinson, and your running back, and not only that, Dean, the tight end.
I'm with you. I mean, I think that right now these wide receivers are dropping a lot of balls. Is actually the report come out that Kentucky leads the SEC in drop balls by receivers. Yeah. So it's not all on Leary, but I still got to see a little bit more before I put him in that great conversation with Will Levis.
Lewis is right. Leary is more accurate than Levis, and that's totally accurate.
Well,
he's just not. They just not been catching the balls.
Yeah, we got to see. We got to see that change, and hopefully it changes this Saturday against Vanderbilt. Now, real quick, the mountain players. Our mountain players at the college level are having magnificent seasons so far. Yeah, right now you got to see mountain players making moves. Isaac Dixon is starting on the return team for EKU. We've seen Carson Wright is dressing for UK. He earns a Scout Team Player of the Week.
Yes.
Gets to dress SEC games.
That's big.
So,
that's huge. A lot of people don't understand, how that come about. That is big. If you don't perform in practice and do your job or what you don't get, they will not let you dress at all.
No.
That is big time.
And listen, right now I'm all on the EKU board too because you got Jackson Hensley up there doing big things at the wideout position for EKU.
Yeah. He's a stud.
Oh yeah,
he scored a touchdown. I watched that game the other night against Western Carolina. He scored it for their first touchdown of the game.
Oh yeah, I mean he's an elite athlete, you know, and then. Bad news, Brett Coleman. UPike's on a bye this week, but Brett Coleman had a fabulous game his last time out.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, so
he's a stud.
Big shout out to all of them there. Real quick, want to go over the West Virginia transfer rule. Seems like it's starting to pick up more steam, David, and I'm scared that there's going to be so much pressure put on it that they're going to overturn the one-time transfer rule. And I'm begging West Virginia, WVSSAC, do not fall for this. West Virginia, WVSSAC is so far behind the other states on all their rules. You finally caught up with this one here. Don't go back and undo a good thing. You're a coach, so we've seen some coaches for it, some not. Joey Fields said he's kind of like that. We've seen some come dead against it. Where do you stand?
I'm for it, because at the end of the day, it don't allow your kids to go here, go there, go here, go there, go there.
It's one time.
Right. It's a one-time thing, and if you choose to leave that school, you have to go back to your actual school that you just came from. And I don't think that these high-scoring numbers or whatever, or scores or whatever, had an effect with that. And you're seeing it in one area.
It don't correlate.
You're seeing it in one area, number one. And number two is, okay, if you're going to do that, then what are you going to do about the kids that's, going to Martinsburg from Pennsylvania or Maryland? What are you going to do about the Pennsylvania kids going to Wheeling Central? There's so much more to that.
What about the Mingo County kids going to Kentucky, whether it's Martin County, whether it's Pike County,
that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. This stuff has been going on for years.
Yep.
And I mean years. And regardless if they said it this, said that, if the kids physically move, they nothing they can do about it in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So honestly, it's not affecting anything. And the whole thing is we heard, South Charleston is a lot of it's coming out of South Charleston.
Yep.
But we never heard it whenever they had all them kids come in for the basketball
because it's
program.
in the capital, and that's why.
You know, so it's a I don't know, man. Like for me, it really doesn't matter.
It's a good rule.
I think it is.
Yeah, do not go back and undo this rule. I mean, because these scores right here are not correlating. That's not the reason why. You know, you got to remember, the teams that's getting blown out, they ain't been good in a while.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it's not like it's anything new.
Right.
And the other thing that I don't like, listen, instead of sitting there doing that, how about you go tell the schools that the kids are transferring, hey, figure out why we're losing these kids. Figure out why they're going to these other ones. I mean, we're powerhouses too, and they're leaving us to go to these other powers. Figure out how to make it. And that's where I think coaches and administrations fall short. They want to blame everybody instead of fix the issues.
Right.
So I mean, I know we got friends on the other side of the aisle on this situation.
I just hate that they're blaming the high scores and stuff like that on the transfer.
Yeah.
And it's only in the Charleston area.
David, it goes on every
exactly.
day in Lexington and Louisville, and you don't see that. You know what I mean? So it's frustrating. I hope they don't do it. Stick to your guns.
What would put a stop to that score, though, is a running clock at 35 points.
That's
when if it gets to 35 points in the first 2 minutes of the game, running clock, and you won't have that.
Yeah, that's where you can fix it.
Yeah. Fix your rules first, and then worry about this stuff. And don't undo a good thing. So, real quick, Matt Fried leads the Mountains in passing. He's 55 for 83 with 1,273 yards and 14 touchdowns so far on the year. Closest person to him is Russ Osborne. He has 1,163 yards and 11 TDs. But Osborne, he's got to fix them 6 interceptions. That's something he's got to clean up. But he's definitely a kid that puts up Xbox or PlayStation numbers. Then Carter Parsons for Betsy Lane is number 3 in the Mountains. Jace Manning, quarterback for Fairview, we was talking about a while ago. I talked about him running the football, but he's passing it well too, as he is number 4. Landry Collette 5. Kaiser Sloan 6, Tyson Salmon 7, Brady Manuis, the freshman from Estill County, is 8. Chris Ross is 9. Chris Ross, 39 of 60 with 709 yards, 9 TDs. And he's got 3 interceptions, David, but you take the blame for a couple of them by, playing a play that you knew it may end up in interception.
Oh, yeah. We had to try something for the team, and he took it with no hesitation.
Yep. LeBron Strader, 33 for 54, 691 yards, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
I like it.
This kid, he's a Byron Leftwich type quarterback, and I hope he gets back, man, because this kid's got such a bright future. Next year, this will be the top quarterback in the Mountains, LeBron Strader. Mark my words. I mean, he's, when you see 0 interceptions, as much as he's throwing the football, but I have a feeling he's going to drop out of the top 10 as he's hurt and players are going to pass him. And then in the rushing, Tyson Salmons is leading the Mountains, 867 yards, 14 touchdowns on the ground. Prestonsburg's Jacob Rose, 744, 8 touchdowns. Betsy Lane's Andrew McCutcheon at 3. Dwaylon Dean from West Carter 4. Dalton Maggard from Leslie 5. Austin Trent 6. Caden Woolen 7. Brendan Anthony from Pikeville, he comes in at 8. Had 3 of his 7 touchdowns last weekend against Belfry. Jameer Knuckles, how about that? Running quarterback, 459 yards, 4 touchdowns on the year. And B.J. Peterson, we will see him and Knuckles battle it out on the Citizens Bank Game of the Week. And then receivers, Carson Brenniger from Scott leads in yardage. This is yardage. 475 yards. Noah Kilburn, our guy from Perry Central, is coming in at number 2. Brandon Clark from Scott. So Scott has 2 of the top 3 wideouts.
They sling the ball. That's why they're QB number 1.
They're a game behind. West Virginia's a game behind Kentucky kids too. Kentucky's played one more
that's
game.
True. And man, that's going to be an interesting topic next week when Scott comes to town. And then we got Julian Puente, the kid I was telling you about. He is ranked 4th. Isaiah Bush, another Scott receiver, at 5. KJ, we've seen Isaiah Bush.
We've seen all three of them kids.
Isaiah Bush is he's probably the one that I would have probably said coming into the season was the top wideout on the team. But he's coming in at 5. You got Brady Bentley at 6. He's tied with Bryson Eli at Tug Valley. Then Michael Hall, East Carter is at 8. Landon Johnson, Fleming County is at 9. And John Luke Fields from Shelby Valley is at 10. Now, Julian Puente, he leads in receptions with 30. And then now we'll jump down here to tackles. Let me make sure here real quick. On the tackles, Madden Miller, I said it will go. This kid, he's being a beast for Martin County right now, and you hope that his great play will help correlate to wins. 71 tackles on the year. Bryce Pugh has 70. Phoenix Eddington, the kid I told you from Perry Central, David, has 64 tackles on the year. Jeremiah Anderson from Pikeville has 63. Malachi Anderson, Pike Central, has 59. Garrett Howard, Letcher Central, 56. Stevie Todd Lane doing his thing at Eastridge with 55 tackles, tied with Deontay Stevens at Pikeville, 55. Elijah Pridemore at Chapmanville Regional, 54 tackles, and Robert Collins for Shelby Valley has 51 tackles. That is your mountain leaders in statistics, David.
Yeah, that's some good numbers, and not only that, I mean, it's a lot of good athletes, man, to see on there. I like that.
And David, as you sit here and look, we're rounding out the end of the show here. Seth Cox says DBs better get roller skates on against Scott. Said
we got independence.
Yeah, there you go. And then said Scotty Dingus says Belfry Pirates versus Mingo Miners in volleyball game. 9-28-23, so that's next week they'll play. That'll be a good one. Lewis County says he's not blaming anyone. Jacob Ruford says it's happening up here in North Carolina, so it's not just West Virginia. Sucat Lester says yes, align the rules, then fix what needs to be fixed, period. And then Seth Cox also tuning in, and we got some people, David Thompson and Dwight Gerald both says a great show tonight, guys. Love the D Sports Network. So, David, last thing that I'll bring you to, and then we'll get out of here.
Good, because I'm about to pass out.
Yeah, me too. I've been on the road forever. This Independence game, right now, everybody, is trying to figure out, okay, is this Miners team for real? Is this the biggest game of your coaching career so far?
This Independence game?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you've been at it, head coach,
how many years? Going into my 10th year.
10th year.
Mm-hmm.
And biggest game of your career.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you tune in. You can catch it right here on D&D Sports Network, Friday Night Football. We got the Logan Bank and Trust game of the week, Scott versus Chapmanville. And then over on the Citizens Bank game of the week, Pike Central versus Floyd Central. Great night of football here on the D&D Sports Network. Guys, make sure you get out, support your teams. It don't matter where you're at. If you ain't got nothing to do on Friday night, go to a local game. I promise they'll appreciate it more than you know. Look around them fields when you're there, them signs you see on the fences. Go support them businesses because they're the ones that's doing the great work there, supporting the community. And David, good luck to you and the Miners. Good luck to all mountain athletes. And guys, till next week, so long and good night from the Crunch Time crew.